Yo, Raider Nation, what's good? It's your boy, hyped up and ready to dive into the latest Las Vegas Raiders news that's got us all buzzing. Picture this. It's late at night in Henderson, the phone rings, and a name pops up that could shake the foundation of our franchise. We're talking about a potential game changer in the 2026 NFL Draft and a sneaky wide receiver signing that's flying under the radar. Are the Raiders building a dynasty under Pete Carroll, or are they still searching for that spark? Stick with me, because this is about to get wild. Let's set the stage, fam. The Las Vegas Raiders are coming off a solid 2025 draft, snagging studs like Ashton Janney and Jack Beck. But the rebuild ain't done yet. Analysts are already projecting Vegas to land a top 10 pick in 2026, and whispers are growing about a defensive superstar who could redefine our secondary. Meanwhile, the front office just made a low-key move to bolster the wide receiver room, signaling they're not sleeping on offense either. What's the plan? Are we gearing up for a defensive overhaul or doubling down on Chip Kelly's explosive offensive vision? So what's the big news? We're diving into two massive stories: the buzz around Ohio State's Caleb Downs as a potential Raiders draft target and the signing of veteran wide receiver Colin Johnson. These moves could shape the Silver and Black's future, but they're raising questions. Can Downs be the defensive anchor we've been craving? Will Johnson carve out a spot in a crowded receiver room? Let's break it all down. Raider Nation, drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get this party started. First up, let's talk about Caleb Downs, the Ohio State safety who's got NFL scouts drooling. This dude is a straight-up baller, named Big Ten Defensive Back of the Year, and a unanimous All-American in 2024 after transferring from Alabama. He racked up 87 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 2 forced fumbles last season, showing he's a playmaker with elite instincts. At just 20 years old, Downs is being compared to legends like Jamal Adams, with some saying he could be the highest drafted safety since 2017. Why are the Raiders eyeing him? Well, Dane Brugler from The Athletic has us picking Downs at number 7 overall in his early 2026 mock draft, and it makes sense. Our secondary needs a leader, someone who can shut down passing attacks and bring that physicality Pete Carroll loves. Downs runs the alley with violence, has ball skills for days, and comes from a football bloodline. His brother Josh plays for Colts. Imagine him paired with our current DBs, turning the backfield into a no-fly zone. But here's the kicker. There's a connection that makes this fit even juicier. Downs played under Chip Kelly at Ohio State in 2024, when Kelly was the offensive coordinator there. That means Kelly's got the inside scoop on Downs' work ethic, character, and how he'd mesh with the Raiders' culture. If Downs declares for the draft, could he be the cornerstone of our defense? Or are we hyping him up too soon? What do you think, Raider Nation? Top 5 pick or bust? Let me know below. Now, let's pivot to the offense, where the Las Vegas Raiders just made a sneaky move by signing veteran wide receiver Colin Johnson. At 6'6", this dude is a towering target who's been bouncing around the league since being drafted by the Jaguars in 2020. He spent the last 2 seasons with the Bears, playing under Chris Beaty, who's now our wide receivers coach. That familiarity could give Johnson an edge as he fights for a roster spot. Johnson's no stranger to grinding. He's got 188 college receptions for 2,624 yards and 15 touchdowns from his time at Texas, showing he's got hands and size to make contested catches. But here's the reality. Our receiver room is stacked. We got Jacoby Myers, rookie Jack Beck, Donnie Thornton Jr., and Trey Tucker, plus Tommy Mellott transitioning from quarterback to receiver. Johnson's got a ball out in camp to make the 53-man roster, but his experience could be a secret weapon. So why make this move now? The Raiders are clearly planning to throw the ball a ton in 2025, with Geno Smith under center and Chip Kelly calling plays. Adding a veteran like Johnson, who knows Beaty's system, shows they're leaving no stone unturned. But can he outshine the young guns? Or is he just practice squad depth? Drop your predictions in the comments. Fam, does Johnson make the cut, or is he gone by week 1? Back to Caleb Downs for a sec, because this kid's potential is too big to ignore. Posts on X are calling him a generational talent who could reset defensive schemes, and I'm buying the hype. His ability to tackle in open space, blitz off the edge, and cover tight ends is rare for a safety. In 2024, he broke up 7 passes and had a pick 6 against Michigan. Talk about clutch. If the Raiders snag him, we're talking about a guy who could be our defensive captain for a decade. But drafting a safety in the top 10? That's a bold move, even for a stud like Downs. The last safety to go that high was Jamal Adams, picked number 6 by the Jets in 2017. Some GMs might overthink positional value and pass on Downs, but Pete Carroll's all about impact players. With our offense already getting a boost from Ashton Janney, a defensive star like Downs could balance the roster. Would you take him at number 7, or should we chase a quarterback instead? Hit me with your draft strategy, Raider Nation. Here's where it gets spicy. The Raiders' draft plans might hinge on what happens in 2025. If Geno Smith balls out and we miss the top 10, Downs would be out of reach. But if we're picking high, this could be Pete Carroll's chance to make a statement. The Athletic reports that Carroll's defense thrives on versatile playmakers, and Downs fits that mold perfectly. Plus, with Chip Kelly's Ohio State ties, the Raiders have a scouting advantage. Could this be the start of a new era for the silver and black? Now, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. The Las Vegas Raiders are building something special under Carroll and GM John Spytek. The 2025 draft brought in 11 new players, including Jandy, Beck, and Thornton, giving us a mix of youth and grit. But the Colin Johnson signing and the Downs bust show they're not done tweaking the roster. Spytek's playing chess, not checkers, keeping other teams guessing about our next move. Johnson's signing might seem small, but it's a signal the Raiders are all in on depth. With only 4 to 5 receiver spots locked down, he's competing with guys like Kyle Phillips, another Chip Kelly disciple from UCLA. This crowded receiver room is going to make training camp a battle royale. Who's got the edge, Johnson's size and experience, or the rookie's upside? Let's debate it, Raider Nation. What's your ideal WR lineup for 2025? All right, let's talk about the stakes. If the Raiders land Caleb Downs, we're not just getting a player, we're getting a culture changer. His leadership and work ethic could elevate guys like Darian Porter and Tonka Hemingway, our 2025 draft picks. But if we miss on him, we're banking on our current DBs to step up, and that's risky with teams like the Chiefs throwing darts in the AFC West. The margin for error is razor thin, fam. On the flip side, Colin Johnson's fight for a roster spot is a microcosm of the Raiders' new mentality. No handouts, just hustle. Pete Carroll's all about competition, and Johnson's got to prove he's more than a camp body. If he clicks with Geno Smith, we could have a red zone monster on our hands. But if he flops, it's next man up. Who's your dark horse to break out in this receiver group? Drop it in the comments. As we wrap this up, Raider Nation, the future's looking bright but uncertain. The Las Vegas Raiders are making bold moves, from chasing Caleb Downs to stacking the receiver room with guys like Colin Johnson. Pete Carroll and John Spytek are cooking something special, but it's on us to stay loud and keep the faith. Will Downs be our next offensive hero? Can Johnson surprise us? The answers are coming, and I'm hyped to see it unfold. Yo, if you're as pumped as I am about these Las Vegas Raiders news, smash that like button and subscribe for more updates. Drop your hot takes in the comments. Should we draft Downs, or is there another prospect we need? Share this with your Raider fam, and let's keep the silver and black vibe strong. Until next time, Raider Nation, let's ride.